Hello, Mark. Now, first off, I must state this is just in my head. I don't know if it's the truth. I don't know if it's false. I just connected some dots and it kind of makes sense, basically. So, here's this. For a fact, the logic is logic. That if the Torah and Scripture in Abrit as the Torah should be written on the scrolls is the truth of Yahweh, and the Son is His Word, His truth made alive. And if the Son is the truth, not just a bunch of truth. Listen to this. In Abrit, every letter has meanings and has a number, right? And when you put the letters together, you get a word. Now, the word has the meanings of each letter and the meanings of the word, and the numbers of the letters and the number of the word. You put the third letter, you get the meanings of each of the three letters and the meanings of the two letters and the meanings of the word of three letters. You get the meanings and numbers of the three letters and the numbers of the two pairs and the numbers of the whole third word of three letters. And if the Mighty One said that the scripture should be written, I mean the Torah should be written, you start on the scroll, the first letter, write it carefully, and you write until you reach the end of the scroll. Start next column and keep doing that forever. If you do that from the first letter of Bereshit, of Genesis, to the last letter of Revelation, you write this continuous scroll. Now, I'm going to say some blasphemous concepts, but they want to show the concept. So, think of this. What if all the letters of the scripture, the entire scripture, what if they are like a cube, like a crystal of salt? Now, in a sodium chloride, it's a square crystal, it's a cube, right? And if you take the scripture as a cube, if you go in the center point of the cube and you start to read towards all the 8 corners in the same time, what do you see? Well, you'd see that you can make connections between every individual letter, every groups of letter, everything, every connection there is to make. And then you have an enormous number of meanings and an enormous number of math, basically, and formulas and shapes and geometry and whatnot, and every single letter is a symbol in itself. It means something through its image. And you got the picture, you got the understanding, and you got the calculation, the measuring. And you put all these three together and you... Now, okay, so I'm saying that basically the scripture, not just the Torah, the entire scripture is a three-dimensional... What? I'm saying that when you read the entire scripture in the form in which it should be, in Paleo, Abrit, in the way the Torah is written, when you know how to read it properly, you actually read the entire information of everything that is. Or to put in more dumbstruck terms, you literally can find out absolutely everything there. The only problem is that so I used an example. A human being, when he wants to, find some information. For instance, I'm looking at a tree, and I'm looking, does he have ants there on the trunk? Then nothing's moving. All right, there's shade. I might sit by it. I got two informations. That's how humans think. What they need immediately, or how they need somewhere in the future. But what if you read? So I thought of this. I don't know how pagan or what do you call it, blasphemous this concept is. I'm one of these people that can sense another person's emotions, called empaths, right? Now, at some points, under some duress, I could feel a sort of a soup of different pains, like a soup had different, little chopped pieces of various ingredients, like pepper and whatever, and tomato. And these little pieces of pain in the entire soup were actually the souls that were hurting in my city. At one point, for some reasons, I could feel the entire pain in the city. Now, that's not a nice experience. However, if I just a little look at me, uh, uh, just a little piece of human something, you feel the souls of the city around him. What can the absolute one do? I mean, remember this: the police, when they're giving you that on-the-spot alcohol test, how they're doing it? They use proprioception. They make you first relax, close your eyes, extend one arm with a finger out, and then lift one foot so you don't can stabilize yourself something, and touch your nose with your closed eyes. Now, how does without sight, without balance, it doesn't make any sound or anything? How does your finger know how to touch your nose? Well, basically, the body feels itself. Now, if the body feels itself, knows how to find itself, and as an empath, I can feel the souls of the entire city, what is the Almighty capable of? He literally can feel the entire existence. Basically. Now, and for a person that had to learn existence, not sense it, it just has to teach you how to read the scripture. Now, that's a trick. It's not a trick, actually. Why is the Torah a book that you roll or open and you roll from one side or roll from another and close? You see, when you have a film of scenes, right? There are two ways. Either you create a continuous film and you roll it fast and you make a movie, or moving picture, right? Or you have, I'm trying to squelch some Romanian diapositives or something. You have separate images. Now, if you're rolling in different directions, you get different images that teach you different things, like an image is 1,000 words, saying, right? So if you're taking this active map of information, you got, that's wrong, but it's kind of limiting you actually. But these are scrolls, right? You don't find out something, you pray to Yahweh, He teaches you how to do it in the moment for what you need, right? And you roll it somewhere, end up in a position. And now what you do? If you want to learn exactly the truth in your face, what you needed now, how to do a specific something, you read that map, that sequence, let's say that column. Let's say you need a complete teaching about a certain subject. You read all the connections of that column. Maybe, I'm thinking. Alright, but what if you need some very deep truths? And here's, I don't know if I'm dumb or I have no, like, I don't know. What if you would read inside the cylinders in all directions, all the connections? What will you find? But, you see, when I look at the tree, I see some answers, I see some shade. So basically what I'm saying is to learn to read that way, there is only one way: to ask the only living one. Otherwise you can't. Basically. But yes, in the scripture, the entirety of the scripture, you can find out all. Well, tell me if I'm right, Mark, or if I lost it. I don't know, but it's fun.